Okay? It was like, I remember once, when I started being more vocal about my approach.
All right.
I remember once, there was a guy in Italy who sent me an email. He goes, "You're such a jackass," right? He goes, you can never make a living teaching Jeet Kune Do." I'm just thinking, right? And then somebody else said, "Well, you can't teach it to kids." And I thought, you ever seen a picture of Bruce Lee training Brandon Lee?
Yep.
There's my permission.
That's it, right there.
Okay?
Right there.
Right?
Exactly.
Because if somehow, in his brilliance, see, all I'm trying to do, right, is to be half as brilliant as Bruce Lee was.
Yeah.
Right? So if I see a picture of Bruce Lee, right, trying to teach Brandon something as an infant, right, and then obviously, as years progress, you could see he kept training him, then it's my duty to sprain my brain and try to come up with a way, right, to teach kids.
Yeah.
And if the karate and taekwondo people are out there teaching kids, how dare we say our stuff is not good enough,
Yeah.
right? They're better than we are. They can do something that we can't do. What?
Yeah.
Taekwondo people can teach kids, but Jeet Kune Do people, no, we are somehow lost.
We can't do it.
We can't come up with a way, right, to teach our art to the younger generation.
Yeah.
Now that's bogus.
Yeah.
That's bogus. I don't agree with that at all, right? And so if you're going to be any good, if you're going to be of any use to anybody in the world, if you're going to be of service to people in the world, then you owe it to yourself to develop yourself to your highest the highest degree possible. Why are we having this conversation right now? Because of Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
Because of Bruce Lee's your desire to elevate himself, right, to the highest level possible.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we're having this conversation.
Yeah.
If he'd never done that, you and I wouldn't be talking.
100%.
Right? That's the example. And you know what's funny about that? What's funny about that is that so many other people lay claim to Bruce Lee.
Right, they do.
The UFC lays claim to Bruce Lee.
Yeah, the
right?
father of MMA.
I think, right? I think, doesn't Conor McGregor... Look, I listened to Joe Rogan one time, right? And he's watching...
Joe Rogan's, I think, got a poster of Bruce Lee in his thing.
Well, he wears...
A bunch of people do.
Yeah, he wears... sometimes he wears the Jeet Kune Do shirt and whatever, right?
Yeah. Hey, Sarah, how are you?
But he's watching... He's with his friend Joey Diaz, right? They're doing a breakdown of the fight scene between Bruce Lee and Chuck Norris, right? Now, of course, they have limited information. It's okay.
It's okay.
But hats off to them because they're very impressed. And Joe Rogan says something. He says something. It was very interesting. I compliment him on this. He said Bruce Lee may not have competed, but it's obvious that he sparred a lot, right? And he got that from watching the fight with Chuck Norris. And then there's the sequence in which Bruce Lee probes with the rear leg oblique kick, right?
Yeah.
And you hear Joe Rogan say, oblique kick, John Jones style, right? Okay, so right? So this is what I'm saying.
Bruce Lee style.
Well, this is right. This is what I'm saying. So many people lay claim to Bruce Lee, except for us.
Yeah.
We don't.
Yeah.
We don't. We are not out there talking about how influential Bruce Lee has been to us.
And you're talking about the JKD community in general.
Yeah. Yeah. Instead, we have these silly little arguments, right? Between different factions, right? I mean, which is that's what happens in Game of Thrones, right? Isn't Game of Thrones like,
probably?
I don't know either, right?
Sure.
But I mean that's kind. I guess that's like a common human trait, right?
Yeah.
Where the different factions of, it probably goes all the way back to the Bible, with Cain and Abel and whatever. If you misunderstand those stories, right? Okay, because you know what those stories really are, right? Okay, now this has nothing to do with
this. Has nothing to do with JKD.
Okay, all right. Have you ever noticed?
It all has to do with JKD.
Have you ever noticed how all these, well, not all, but a lot of these stories in the Bible, right, that have to do with this brother and that brother. There's always a dual element. Have you ever noticed that? It's Cain and Abel. It's Adam and Eve, right? It's I'm failing now in my biblical studies, but it's Jacob and Esau.
Right.
Right? There's the prodigal son thing. There's the son that stayed at home with the father. There's the prodigal that went out and whatever. Right?
Mhm.
You know what all that is?
Hmm.
Inner you and outer you.
Yes.
That's what those stories are. Right? Now, I'm not saying that people shouldn't believe in the Bible and shouldn't be Christian or Catholic or whatever it is that they want to be. Right? More power to you, whatever it is that gives your life meaning. Right? I'm just saying there's another way of looking at all of that.
Yeah.
Right? Now, the way that connects to Jeet Kune Do for me is this. They said to Bruce Lee, what's the difference between hard style Kung Fu and soft style Kung Fu? And Bruce Lee said, not two. Right?
Yeah.
As in, it's not hard by itself or soft by itself.
Yeah.
It's the blend of the two.
Yeah.
Right? So if you think about that, right? In Kali, there's the inward strike, there's the backhand strike. Right?
Yeah.
And then there's this thing in the middle, which could be the overhead.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
Right? So that's hard and soft mixed together to create, a thing. It's like male and female, right?
Uh-huh.
Male and female are not opposites of each other. They're the complementary halves of the whole. Right?
Exactly.
You see?
Yeah.
Because if we talk about human beings,
Mhm.
in order for human beings to produce another human being, the natural way, you need male and female.
Correct. Yep.
You see? So you have male, female, and then when they blend together, they produce. Right? So
Yeah.
inward backhand, the overhead.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah.
Which is what? Symbol of the Trinity.
Yeah.
You see?
Wow.
Yeah. Right? See, so through the study of Jeet Kune Do, and this is going to get me in trouble, right?
That's what we want.
Yeah, this is
Share this, guys. Share it now.
This is getting me in trouble, but it's okay. When I use the term Jeet
Great
Kune Do,
interview. Thanks, Alfred.
right? When I use the term Jeet Kune Do, I am not referring to what you saw Bruce Lee do on film. I am not referring to the lead punch.
Right.
I'm not referring to that emphasis of lead, whatever. Jeet Kune Do for me goes way beyond all that. All that stuff is Jun Fan. It's Jun Fan kickboxing.
Right.
It's Jun Fan Kung Fu.
Right.
Right? And like I was telling you earlier, we start with that which is familiar and therefore easier for most people. It's easier for most people to learn to kick and punch than it is to learn trapping and grappling.
Oh yeah.
Right? Now,
Someone just said there's trapping in the UFC.
of course.
Yeah.
Of course, but trapping has been around forever. Look, again, this is just my breakdown, right?
Yeah.
I think that the world, right, and definitely a lot of us in JKD owe Paul Vunak a huge debt, right, for emphasizing trapping.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
Right? Okay? But the thing about it is that trapping, Wing Chun method, Jun Fan method, Kali method, because what we call the check in hand or the alive hand, right? So look at that, right? We were talking about this. We were talking about this last night, right? About a connection between Kali and Wing Chun, for example, right? So Wing Chun has Bong Sao, which some people call the wing hand.
Yeah.
But that's the same shape that when we do the wing block with the stick in Kali, right?
Exactly.
So the hand shape is the same.
Same.
I think that's cool.
Yeah.
Right? Right? So it's kind of like, well, I mean, they have this serendipitous commonality, so
Right.
I'm just gonna play with that.
Yeah.
Right? They got double sword, right? We got double stick and double sword. They got the butterfly knife, and we got the butterfly knife too, right? So what's the deal?
Yeah.
Right? So if you can do that between Wing Chun and Kali, well then you start looking at how you can use Wing Chun
Yeah.
in your jiu-jitsu. Right? See, because this is the thing, right? And again, this is framework,
Using Wing Chun in your Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
right? Framework and proprietary language,
Yeah.
right? So, there's a thing called the 3 stages of combat. Entry, follow-up, finish. Right? So, you could look at that this way. This is one way of looking at it, right?
What do you think?
This is one way of looking at it. You can go, okay, I use boxing for the entry. I use Wing Chun, right? For the, well, no, not Wing Chun. I should explain this to you. There's 3 or 4 stages of combat,
Okay.
right? So there's entry, follow-up, finish. So if my entry is a jab, bang, I'm successful, right? Follow-up, cross, bang, I'm successful. Finish, hook, bang, I'm successful. But if the jab fails,
Yeah.
we are now at midpoint.
Yes.
You see?
Gotcha.
And a lot of times midpoint involves bridge contact.
Right.
And when we have bridge contact, I can go to trapping. You see? So I can use boxing, right? Let's say, and then if something happens, I use Wing Chun.
Right.
And then right after the Wing Chun, I use a grappling finish and hold or finish and move.
Yeah.
Right? So you could look at it that way. Or you could say, well, I'm going to do it by art. I'm not going to do it by skill. So I'm going to use a savate entry. Right?
Yeah.
Then I'm going to use a Western boxing follow-up.
Right.
Right? And then I'm going to use a Brazilian jiu-jitsu, whatever. Right? I mean, so there's more,
Yeah.
and just for fun.
So you can follow the principles of training and just kind of plug and play. It's almost like a formula.
Of course it is.
Yeah, it's
Of course
scientific.
it
It's like scientific street fighting.
Right? Of course it
Thanks
is.
for the likes, guys. Keep liking,
Okay.
keep sharing.
Because you have to,
Yeah.
yeah, you can't escape formulas.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, some of the greatest knowledge in the world, right, comes out of scientific formulas.
Mm-hmm.
So why have this idea that, no, JKD is against all that?
Yeah, no,
right? You know, I remember in the early days, I don't want to say I was told, because I don't want to, maybe it wasn't that way. Maybe it's just, I just got that idea myself.
Right. Absorbed it.
That whatever it is that Taekwondo people were doing, we shouldn't do. Right?
Gotcha.
So if they were organizing their curriculum, we shouldn't do it.
Yeah.
They're using belts, we shouldn't use
That was
belts.
the rebellious
Right?
aspect.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. But here's the thing. The honesty factor kicks in. When you see the Taekwondo guy driving...
Thanks, Andre. He says
Right.
awesome insight.
When you see the Taekwondo guy driving the new Mercedes, and you have a 5-year-old Honda Accord,
Yep.
and you wish you had a new Mercedes,
Yeah.
right? Now you got to be honest with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So that honesty with yourself could lead you to sell out,
Right.
right? Or it could lead you down the more difficult path,
Right.
which is to do what it is that needs to be done for improved commercial success, but maintain the integrity of JKD.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
So, and this is
You
just
have
for
that
me.
choice to make.
This is just for me.
Yeah.
So I have never awarded anybody a black belt in JKD.
Right. Yeah.
That's just me.
No, it makes sense. Yeah.
If that works for somebody else,
Right.
fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Look, the Kung Fu people had to modify for commercial success.
It's true.
They didn't start out with the white sash and the yellow sash and
But all that is just a symbol. That's what I liked about the shirts, changing a shirt or changing, because all it is symbol. Even if rank doesn't matter,